Thank you. Come join us. Come on over. Hey, how great to be back in Missouri City. Yeah. The one and only, the first and last Sunday of early voting. Yeah. This is our only chance to cast our ballot, to fire our shot, to make sure that we are heard, that we are counted, that we matter in this great democracy on this Sunday right here. And the fact that you all chose to come out in the face of such challenges, which have tempted others to despair, to succumb, to submit, to accept this as the status that will be our future, our faith, and our fortune, fills me with hope. This is exactly the kind of courage the congressman was talking about right now. The courage of our convictions, doing what is right at the right moment. And that right moment is right now. And to share this soapbox with so many of my heroes who are making such extraordinary change right here in Fort Bend, in Texas, and the country, means the world to me. You know, Congressman Al Green is not just great for his district. It's not just great for Texas. He is great for this country.
Yes, baby.
Others will talk about conscience. He has the courage of his conscience. He will say what is right and what is necessary and what is urgent, regardless of where the political winds blow in this country. And for me, that is a sign of a true leader. And I just want you to know this, because sometimes we may just think that this is the norm in Congress, that the other 434 members act in this way. I had a chance to serve in Congress with those other members, and there's some great folks out there, none like Al Green. So thank you for introducing me right now. Ron Reynolds, also a man of conviction, who was willing to leave not just the floor of the House of Representatives in Texas to make sure that the anti-democracy majority lacked a quorum to take away our voting rights. He literally was willing to risk his freedom, because they threatened him with arrest, when he left the state of Texas to go to Washington, D.C. to bring the national spotlight on Texas, because here the right to vote was in peril, unlike any other state in the union. And I tell you, when we get that Voting Rights Act, of which our member of Congress is a co-sponsor, finally passed in the Senate and signed into law by this president, we'll have Ron Reynolds, the chairman of the Legislative Black Caucus, and those members who walked out with him to thank. So thank you. No one fires up a crowd like Cynthia Gingrich. We will pay her flight and her fare anywhere in Texas. She will introduce us the way that she just introduced us now. And she and I have talked about this the very first time that I came to Fort Bend County. We didn't know each other from before. She welcomed me, and we didn't know I had not been to Fort Bend County before in my life. Lifelong Texan, but you all are an 11-hour drive from Mount Texas. Might as well be in another part of the country. Right. As far as we were concerned growing up. And so, to my surprise, not only did you bring out a big crowd, you fired them up, and you made us feel in 2017, when we were just starting that Senate race, like we were doing the right thing in the right place with the right people. So I want to thank you for being there with us. And Casey George, we rode in on his coattails in 2018. The turnout that he and Cynthia and this team produced in Fort Bend got me within 2.5 points of Ted Cruz, produced the largest voter turnout in Texas since 1970. Young voter turnout of 500% from the people. That's what having a serious campaigner and a principled man who is a public servant for everyone, regardless of whether they supported him or opposed him. And we just heard from Ron about history and from the congressman about not going back. But let me just go back for a moment. And let me go back actually pretty far to the 1880s. As I was studying our history here in Fort Bend, I learned, to my surprise, you already know this because you know your history, the first African-American sheriff ever elected to that post in the entire United States of America was right here in Fort Bend. Right in the middle of Reconstruction. In fact, by the 1880s, more than half of the elected leaders in this county were African American. That's well after Reconstruction had already ended in most of the rest of the country. But as you all know, because you know your history, there was a violent attempt to overthrow lawful, purposeful, free and fair elections here that ultimately was decided with the barrel of a gun outside of the courthouse steps in 1888. And it took every single one of those elected leaders out of office. They literally had to leave the county. And there was instituted something called the Jaybird primary, which became a whites-only filter on every election conducted in Fort Bend County. From one of the most diverse places in the United States at the time, with one of the proudest histories of elevating those who had formerly been enslaved into positions of public trust and power, you had a white nationalism through violence that was able to overtake the power of the ballot. I was just asking Chris on our team, what year was the white primary here in Fort Bend struck down? Not until 1953. Within the living lifetime of those who are with us right now. But to have the first person of color elected to be a county judge, to have Sheriff Fagan become the next black sheriff of Fort Bend County, to have Ms. Smith-Lawson as our county attorney, to have that diversity and pride reflected and represented in power again is really something. And it's a reminder that we are only here but for the efforts of those who preceded us, who did the long work to bring down the Jaybird primary.
That's in a GoPro.
No, it's just a phone. Who knocked on the doors for Stacey George and all these other great public leaders in our midst right now. Those who fought for the full civil and voting rights of every single one of our fellow Americans. Reminded of John Lewis at the tender age of 24, trying to cross that Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama, risking his life in the process, just so that we could stand here today and freely and fairly cast our ballots. Well, that right to vote is under attack in Texas, more so than it is anywhere else. Harder to cast that ballot or get your name on the rolls in this state than in any other in the union. Now the question for all of us is, will we be found wanting in this moment of truth, or will we come through? Because no one but no one is going to ride to the rescue of the people of Fort Bend County or our fellow Texans across the other 253. This one is on all of us. And if you think about everything that hangs in the balance, the right of a woman to make her own decisions about her own body, the right of a child to survive the school year without being shot or killed. This state now leads the nation in the number of school shootings. This state has the dubious distinction of gun violence being the leading cause of death for children and teenagers. This state should not be defined by this violence. We're not more murderous than any other people in America. We just have laws that don't match our values right now. Right?
Yes.
The least insured state in America. Now, that can just sound like an abstraction to those who have insurance, right, and are able to see a doctor. But what it means to me is that more kids die of diabetes, a totally preventable death in the state of Texas, than in any of the other 49 right now. I was just meeting with a pastor in Houston who ministers to those who are incarcerated, and we were lamenting the fact that our county jails are now the largest provider of mental health care services in the state of Texas. The largest inpatient facility in a state of 30 million is the Harris County Jail in downtown Houston, Texas. Now that is us today because of those who are in power at a statewide level, but it doesn't have to be our tomorrow. It doesn't have to be our fortune. It does not have to be our fate. But again, it is up to us. And no pressure, folks. If we don't come through right now at this moment, I don't know that we get another. You know, the fact that we've had 246 years of this imperfect democracy, yet one that has never stopped striving to realize the foundational premise that we're all created equally, should be treated equally under the law, should have equal opportunity going forward, and should be able to freely and fairly decide the course and the direction that this country takes. We don't come through in this year. I don't know that there is a 2024. I don't know that there's a 248th year. I don't know that we get this going forward. What Lincoln called the last great vote of Earth may very well no longer exist on this planet. I asked Cynthia to set a stopwatch. Listen, what you are doing right now is so critically important. You're voting, right?
Yep.
Yes.
But what you are doing right now, what we are doing, what I'm doing with you, is wholly insufficient to the task at hand. It is going to take more. If we're the most suppressed state in the union, and we are, it's going to take more than those who typically vote to overcome these challenges. In fact, it's going to take the very targets of suppression and intimidation for us to come through. I am asking you, and this will be my last ask in Fort Bend County, unless we're somehow able to get back here again in the next 9 days, to join this effort, to knock on doors, to make phone calls, to reach out to those who otherwise will be drawn out and disenfranchised in this next election. We have Chrissy from our team and Grace from our team and maybe Rocio or someone else from our team who can sign you up to knock on these doors. In addition, y además, I'm asking this from you. If you take a picture with us today, I hope you will, I want you to post it before you leave this parking lot. If you take a picture with our congressman, with our state representative, with our chair, with our judge, post that picture and describe in your own words from your own heart what brought you out here today. The folks in your life may or may not know that I even exist or that I'm running or that there's an election on the 8th of November. They may know that. They may just write me off as your typical politician. And that's or why should I get my hopes up on this guy? They may or may not see our TV ads or hear our radio ads, but they know you and they trust you. And if they see you with me and you saying, look, this is the election of our lifetimes because our lives are literally on the line and we've got to come through, well, that might move them to participate. Number one reason given by the millions who didn't cast a ballot in the 2020 election, as consequential and important as that was, the millions in Texas who didn't vote said that the reason for not voting is that no one asked them to vote. They're literally waiting for us to show up at their door right now. And won't it be some pretty powerful, profound, poetic political justice when those who have been disenfranchised are brought in by all of us to form the margin of victory when we win this on the night of November.
Amen.
And when we win, there's no stopping the good things that we're doing. Restoring protection for the right for women to make their own decisions about their own body, their own future. Putting the lives of our kids over the interests of the NRA or the gun lobby in the state of Texas.
Amen.
Ensuring that teachers are paid enough not to work 2 or 3 jobs. Retired teachers getting a cost of living justice. Returning valuable classroom time to those teachers and the kids in front of them by canceling the STAR test. And when it comes to our democracy, making sure that whoever you are, whoever you want to vote for, you're able to get that done online, same day, and automatic voter registration. Replacing these efforts where they tried to gerrymander Al Green out of the position of public trust that we placed him into with citizen-led redistricting commissions. And in this one, there is on the books, believe it or not, a state holiday called Confederate Heroes Day.
Oh, no.
Replace that with Election Day. We're going to get this democracy back through more democracy. That's all of us doing all we can with what we have, where we are, right now, right here in Missouri City. You all with me? Ready to win? Go out there, do the work, keep the faith, keep up the fight, and let's go win this thing.
Beto, 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 Beto.
We're going to head down the side. Start heading down the side.